The morning sun streams in, and you wake up, perhaps with a sense of anticipation for the day ahead. You've worked hard, lived a full life, and now, more than ever, you deserve to feel vibrant, energetic, and fully alive. But what if a seemingly innocent part of your morning routine is actually holding you back from that very vitality? Especially when it comes to feeling truly confident and connected in the most intimate parts of your life. Are you experiencing moments where your body just doesn't respond the way it used to, leaving you feeling frustrated, embarrassed, or even defeated? Many men over 60 quietly face a painful reality: the decline in erectile function, often feeling powerless against it. You might think it's just an inevitable part of aging, something you have to accept. But what if I told you that the secret to reclaiming that youthful vigor, that firm confidence, might be hiding in plain sight, right there on your breakfast plate? And it's not about magic pills or complicated procedures. Sometimes, the most profound changes come from the simplest adjustments. In this video, we're going to uncover 10 surprising fruits, or ways of consuming them, that might actually be undermining your erections, especially when you eat them for breakfast. These aren't just about weight or general health. They have a direct, often overlooked impact on your circulatory system and hormonal balance, which are crucial for a strong, reliable erection. Stay with me until the very end, because what I'm about to reveal might truly change how you view your morning meal and your intimate life. Let's dive straight into the first surprising culprit that might be showing up on your breakfast plate: the overly ripe banana. Now, you might be thinking, bananas are healthy, aren't they? And yes, they absolutely are, packed with potassium and other beneficial nutrients. But here's the crucial distinction for men over 60, especially when we're talking about erectile health: the ripeness factor. As a banana ripens, its complex carbohydrates convert into simple sugars. A perfectly ripe banana has a good balance. But those bananas with brown spots, the ones that are very soft and sweet, they're essentially a sugar bomb, especially when eaten alone for breakfast. When you consume a high amount of simple sugars first thing in the morning, without the buffer of protein, healthy fats, or plenty of fiber from other sources, your body experiences a rapid spike in blood sugar. This surge forces your pancreas to release a rush of insulin to bring that sugar down. Over time, these frequent and drastic blood sugar spikes can lead to insulin resistance. Think of it like this: your body's cells become less responsive to insulin, meaning sugar stays in your bloodstream for longer. This chronic high blood sugar can damage your blood vessels, particularly the delicate endothelium that lines them. And here's why this matters so much for erections. Healthy blood vessels are absolutely essential for blood flow. Erections are fundamentally a hydraulic event, relying on robust, unimpeded blood flow into the penis. Damaged blood vessels become stiff, less elastic, and less efficient at dilating, making it harder for enough blood to rush in and create a firm erection. So, while a ripe banana once in a while is fine, making overly ripe bananas a daily breakfast staple, especially by themselves, might be slowly eroding the very foundation of your erectile strength. Instead, if you love bananas, opt for slightly less ripe ones, and always pair them with protein, like a handful of nuts, a scoop of protein powder in a smoothie, or a dollop of Greek yogurt, to slow down that sugar absorption and mitigate the blood sugar spike. Now, let's move on to the second common breakfast item that could be secretly sabotaging your sexual vitality: dried fruits. Things like raisins, dried cranberries, dried apricots, or even those seemingly healthy fruit leathers. Again, on the surface, they seem innocuous, perhaps even beneficial. They come from whole fruits, after all. But here's the catch: the drying process removes most of the water content, concentrating all the natural sugars into a much smaller, denser package. A small handful of raisins might contain the sugar equivalent of a large bunch of grapes, and it's incredibly easy to overconsume them without realizing it. Imagine how many fresh grapes you'd have to eat to get the same amount of sugar as a small box of raisins. This concentrated sugar hit, especially when consumed for breakfast, again leads to those undesirable blood sugar spikes we just talked about, much like the overly ripe banana. This can contribute to insulin resistance and systemic inflammation over time, both of which are detrimental to your cardiovascular health and, by extension, your erectile function. Furthermore, many commercially dried fruits, especially cranberries or cherries, often have added sugars, sometimes disguised as cane sugar or juice concentrate, which further exacerbates the problem. These added sugars are pure empty calories that contribute to inflammation and oxidative stress in the body, damaging blood vessels and impairing nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide is a crucial molecule that helps relax and widen blood vessels, a vital step in achieving an erection. Less nitric oxide means less efficient blood flow. So, while dried fruits can be a convenient snack, they are far from an ideal breakfast choice for men looking to maintain strong erections. If you enjoy them, use them sparingly, as a small garnish, and never as the main component of your breakfast. Third on our list are large servings of tropical fruits like mangoes and pineapples, especially when eaten alone for breakfast. These fruits are undeniably delicious, vibrant, and packed with vitamins and antioxidants. However, much like overly ripe bananas, they are also naturally high in sugar, particularly fructose. While fructose from whole fruit is processed differently than processed sugars, consuming large quantities, particularly without accompanying fiber or protein, can still lead to a significant sugar load on your system. A whole large mango, for instance, can contain upwards of 45 to 50 grams of sugar. When you start your day with such a high sugar intake, even from natural sources, you're setting your blood sugar on a roller coaster ride. This can contribute to the same issues we've discussed: insulin resistance, inflammation, and damage to the delicate lining of your blood vessels. Moreover, an excess of fructose can, for some individuals, contribute to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, a condition increasingly linked to metabolic syndrome and cardiovascular issues, both of which are precursors to erectile dysfunction. Your liver has to work hard to process that fructose, and if it's constantly overwhelmed, it can lead to a buildup of fat and inflammation. So, while enjoying these exotic delights is perfectly fine, moderation is key, especially for breakfast. Instead of a whole mango or a large bowl of pineapple chunks, opt for smaller portions and always combine them with a source of protein and healthy fats, like a handful of almonds or some Greek yogurt, to slow down the sugar absorption and create a more balanced meal that supports stable energy and robust circulation. Our fourth breakfast item to be wary of, and this one often surprises people, is fruit juice, even the kind labeled 100% pure fruit juice, or no added sugar. You might think you're making a healthy choice by grabbing a glass of orange juice or apple juice in the morning. However, when fruit is juiced, the most beneficial part, the fiber, is largely removed. What you're left with is essentially a concentrated dose of fruit sugar, very similar to a sugary soft drink in terms of how quickly it hits your bloodstream. Without the fiber to slow down absorption, the natural sugars in juice cause a rapid and significant spike in your blood sugar levels. This effect is often more pronounced than eating the whole fruit because the chewing and digestive process of breaking down whole fruit takes longer and incorporates the fiber, which acts as a buffer. Repeated blood sugar spikes throughout the day, especially starting with breakfast, can lead to systemic inflammation and oxidative stress, damaging blood vessels over time. Remember, healthy, flexible blood vessels are paramount for achieving and maintaining an erection. Moreover, the lack of fiber means fruit juice is far less satiating than whole fruit, leading you to feel hungry sooner and potentially consume more calories later in the day, contributing to weight gain and metabolic issues that also impact erectile health. Think of it this way to make 1 glass of apple juice. It takes several apples. Would you eat 3 or 4 apples in one sitting for breakfast? Probably not. But drinking the juice equivalent is easy. So, instead of a glass of juice, opt for the whole fruit. You'll get all the vitamins, minerals, and crucially, the fiber, which supports stable blood sugar, a healthy gut, and better overall circulation. Now that we've looked at overly ripe bananas, dried fruits, large servings of tropical fruits, and fruit juices, let's continue our journey through the breakfast table to uncover even more surprising factors impacting your intimate health. Let's continue our journey through the breakfast fruits that might be quietly undermining your intimate health. The fifth item to approach with extreme caution is canned fruits, especially those packed in heavy syrup. While some might reach for them out of convenience or habit, these are arguably one of the worst fruit choices for your morning meal when it comes to supporting erectile function. The primary reason is the sheer volume of added sugars. These syrups are often made with high fructose corn syrup or refined sugar, turning an otherwise healthy fruit into a sugary dessert. A single serving can contain astronomical amounts of sugar, leading to immediate and dramatic blood sugar spikes. We've talked extensively about how these spikes contribute to insulin resistance and inflammation, which are direct enemies of healthy blood vessels. And it's those pliable, responsive blood vessels that are crucial for the rapid blood flow needed for an erection. Beyond the sugar, many canned fruits undergo extensive processing, which can diminish their nutrient content. They often lack the vibrant antioxidants and natural enzymes found in fresh fruit. Plus, some cans are lined with BPA, a chemical linked to endocrine disruption, which can interfere with hormone balance, including testosterone, another key player in male sexual health. So, if you're looking for a quick fruit option, always choose fresh or frozen fruits over their canned, syrup-laden counterparts. Even canned fruit packed in its own juice is a better alternative. But fresh is always king for maximizing nutrient density and minimizing sugar load. Moving on to the sixth fruit, and this one carries a very specific and critical warning, especially for men over 60. Grapefruit. Now, on its own, grapefruit is a nutrient-dense fruit, packed with vitamin C and antioxidants. However, its interaction with various medications makes it a significant concern for erectile health. Grapefruit contains compounds that can interfere with an enzyme in your gut that's responsible for breaking down certain medications. When this enzyme is inhibited, more of the drug enters your bloodstream and stays there longer, leading to dangerously high levels. This is particularly relevant for men taking medications for erectile dysfunction, such as sildenafil Viagra, tadalafil Cialis, or vardenafil Levitra. Consuming grapefruit or grapefruit juice while on these medications can significantly amplify their effects, leading to a dangerous drop in blood pressure or other serious side effects. But it's not just ED medications. Grapefruit can also interact with statins, cholesterol-lowering drugs, blood pressure medications, and even some anti-anxiety medications. Impaired blood pressure regulation and interactions with cardiovascular drugs can directly impact your circulatory system, which is intrinsically linked to erectile function. Even if you're not on ED medication, issues with blood pressure or heart health, which grapefruit can inadvertently affect through drug interactions, will indirectly undermine your ability to achieve and maintain an erection. Therefore, if you are over 60 and on any prescription medication, it is absolutely crucial to consult your doctor or pharmacist about grapefruit interactions before making it a regular part of your breakfast. For many, it's safer to avoid it entirely to protect your health and your erections. The seventh item on our list might seem obvious, but it's often overlooked in its impact on our intimate health: processed fruit snacks, fruit-flavored cereals, and fruit-filled pastries. While these might contain some minuscule amount of actual fruit, they are overwhelmingly loaded with refined sugars, unhealthy fats, artificial colors, and preservatives. These are not fruits. They are ultra-processed foods disguised as healthy options. Starting your day with these items means flooding your system with empty calories that spike blood sugar, trigger inflammation, and contribute to oxidative stress throughout your body. This cascade of negative effects directly damages the endothelial cells lining your blood vessels, leading to arterial stiffness and reduced blood flow. Chronic inflammation is a known enemy of nitric oxide production, the vital molecule that helps your blood vessels relax and expand to allow blood into the penis for an erection. Furthermore, the unhealthy fats often found in these processed items contribute to cholesterol plaque buildup in your arteries, narrowing them and further impeding blood flow not just to your heart, but to your penis as well. Erections are a barometer of your cardiovascular health. If your arteries are getting clogged and stiff from a diet high in processed sugars and unhealthy fats, your erections will be among the first things to suffer. So, resist the temptation of these convenient but ultimately detrimental breakfast options. Choose real, whole fruits instead, paired with protein and healthy fats to genuinely nourish your body and support robust circulation. Our eighth consideration takes us to conventionally grown apples and strawberries, especially when consumed for breakfast without proper cleaning. While apples and strawberries are incredibly healthy and rich in antioxidants and fiber, the concern here lies with pesticide residues. Conventionally grown produce often carries residues of pesticides and herbicides, some of which are known endocrine disruptors. Endocrine disruptors are chemicals that can interfere with your body's hormone system, including the production and regulation of testosterone, which plays a significant role in libido and erectile function. While the immediate impact on erections from a single apple might be negligible, chronic exposure over time from a diet heavily reliant on conventionally grown produce could contribute to an overall hormonal imbalance and systemic burden on your body. Your body has to work harder to detoxify these chemicals, diverting resources that could otherwise be used for optimal physiological function, including sexual health. Moreover, some pesticides can contribute to general inflammation and oxidative stress, further damaging blood vessels. For men over 60 who are already facing natural hormonal shifts and potential vascular vulnerabilities, minimizing exposure to these environmental toxins becomes even more critical for maintaining overall vitality, including sexual function, whenever possible. Opt for organic apples and strawberries, especially if you eat them frequently, if organic isn't an option. Be sure to thoroughly wash your conventional produce to remove as much residue as possible. But understand that some residues can be absorbed into the fruit itself. The ninth item to be mindful of is grapes, particularly when consumed in very large quantities for breakfast. Grapes, especially red and black varieties, are celebrated for their resveratrol and other antioxidants, making them a fantastic healthy snack. However, just like other high-sugar fruits, their sugar content can be a double-edged sword when consumed in excess. A cup of grapes, while delicious, contains around 15 to 20 grams of sugar, mostly fructose and glucose. If you're someone who pours a large bowl of grapes, perhaps 2 or 3 cups, for breakfast, you're looking at a significant sugar load of 30-60 grams. This concentrated sugar intake, without the balance of sufficient protein and fats, can lead to the familiar pattern of blood sugar spikes and subsequent crashes. As we've consistently discussed, these repeated fluctuations are detrimental to your endothelial cells, the lining of your blood vessels, over time. This contributes to arterial stiffness and reduces the capacity of your blood vessels to dilate, which is fundamental for achieving a firm erection. The key here isn't to avoid grapes altogether, but to practice moderation and mindful consumption, instead of a massive bowl. Enjoy a small handful as part of a balanced breakfast that includes protein from eggs or yogurt and healthy fats from avocado or nuts. This approach helps to slow down sugar absorption, maintain stable blood sugar levels, and provide a steady supply of nutrients that support healthy circulation and overall vitality. Finally, the 10th fruit on our list that needs careful consideration, especially in large breakfast portions, is watermelon. Watermelon is incredibly hydrating, especially welcome on a warm morning, and it contains citrulline, an amino acid that the body converts into L-arginine, a precursor to nitric oxide. This is why watermelon is often touted as nature's Viagra. However, here's the nuance for men over 60. While it offers potential benefits, its sheer volume and sugar content can be counterproductive if consumed excessively, particularly as a standalone breakfast. Watermelon has a relatively high glycemic index, meaning its natural sugars are absorbed quickly into the bloodstream. A very large serving can deliver a substantial sugar hit, leading to a quick blood sugar spike, while the citrulline is beneficial if the overall sugar load from an enormous portion is consistently causing blood sugar dysregulation. That negative effect could overshadow the positive. Furthermore, for some individuals, excessive watermelon can lead to digestive discomfort due to its high water content and specific sugars. Chronic digestive issues can contribute to systemic inflammation, which, as we've learned, is detrimental to blood vessel health and nitric oxide production. The idea is to benefit from watermelon's properties without creating a blood sugar roller coaster. Instead of a giant bowl of watermelon by itself for breakfast, enjoy a moderate slice or a cup of diced watermelon alongside a protein source like eggs or cottage cheese, and some healthy fats from avocado or a few nuts. This balances the meal, slows sugar absorption, and allows your body to better utilize the beneficial compounds in watermelon without the accompanying sugar rush. By making these thoughtful choices, you can truly leverage the goodness of fruits to support not just your overall health, but your intimate vitality as well. So, we've walked through 10 surprising fruits or fruit consumption habits that, while seemingly harmless, can subtly or significantly impact your ability to achieve and maintain strong erections, especially when eaten for breakfast. We started with the overly ripe banana and its sugar spike, then moved to the concentrated sugar bombs of dried fruits. We explored how large servings of tropical fruits like mangoes and pineapples can overwhelm your system with natural sugars, and why even 100% pure fruit juice is often a major culprit due to its lack of fiber. We discussed the dangers of canned fruits and syrup, and the critical medication interactions associated with grapefruit. We highlighted the deceptive nature of processed fruit snacks and the hidden dangers of pesticide residues on conventionally grown apples and strawberries. Finally, we looked at how even healthy grapes and watermelon, when consumed in excessive portions or without balance, can lead to blood sugar issues detrimental to your vascular health. The key takeaway here isn't to ban all fruits from your breakfast. Absolutely not. Fruits are packed with essential vitamins, minerals, fiber, and antioxidants that are vital for overall health and longevity. The real lesson is about mindfulness, balance, and understanding how certain choices, especially first thing in the morning, can set the tone for your body's metabolic and circulatory health throughout the day. It's about choosing whole, fresh fruits over processed options, paying attention to ripeness, being mindful of portion sizes, and critically, always pairing your fruits with protein and healthy fats. This combination slows down sugar absorption, provides sustained energy, and supports the stable blood sugar levels that are fundamental for healthy blood vessels and optimal nitric oxide production, both crucial for a robust erection. Remember, small, consistent changes truly can make an enormous difference in your health and happiness, including your intimate life. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight, but simply being aware of these subtle impacts can empower you to make smarter choices. Think of these adjustments as investing in your vitality, your confidence, and your connection with your partner. You deserve to feel your best, strong and capable at every age. I encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Have you noticed any changes by adjusting your breakfast habits? What are your go-to balanced breakfast ideas that include fruits? Your insights could help countless other men in our community. If you found this information helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who need this advice. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more practical, empowering content designed to help you live your best, most vibrant life at every age. Thank you for watching. And here's to a healthier, more confident you live your best life at every age.